In our last segment, we saw some of the prep work that goes into a siding project, and we also learned about a new house wrap called Insultex. Now let's once again meet up with Andy Lindus from Lindus Construction and see where flashing is used and also how the siding is being installed on this home. You know, Andy, regardless of the job we visit with your company, I'm always impressed at the attention to detail and the experience of the crew members.
Yeah, you know, this is actually the fourth crew we have on this job. We had guys that specialize in roofing that did the roofing. The leaf guard guys that only do leaf guard are the guys that actually remove the old siding and install the house wrap. That's all they do. And now we have Luke and Eric here installing the LP SmartSide. True expert, thousands of hours of experience installing the siding. And you know what? These guys probably go through 40, 50 hours of training every year just on the installation of siding.
Yeah, and that's not only training within your company, but also with manufacturers.
Yeah, we have manufacturer reps on job sites all the time. They come to our office in the wintertime and go through things. We actually have OSI, Quad Caulking, comes to our office, spends a whole day with our guys on how to properly install the different sealants and caulking that they have.
And you know, that's something a consumer should be aware of. They might think, oh, it's just caulking, who cares about that? But again, those are the attention to details that separates a good home from a great home.
You know, I've gone to people's houses before, jobs that we hadn't installed, brand new siding put on. The first thing I look at is the caulking. You can tell when a true professional runs a caulk gun versus somebody that's not doing it maybe every day. The wider, it gets all smudged, and most importantly, it's not going to keep the air and the water out, which is what we're trying to do.
Sure, we talk about a full wrap protected house, a complete system, whether it's the roof or siding, or in this case, both.
Yeah.
That's what you want to look for. And is it important for a homeowner to ask the salesperson those questions? Who are these installers?
We're going to go through the whole process. We're going to tell them about who's going to do their roofing, who's going to do their siding, who's going to remove it. And our crew's been together for a long time. As you know, at Lindus Construction, we have very little turnover. We actually have 120 people, and those people specialize. I mean, true specialists. All our siding guys do is siding. All the roofing guys do is roofing, so on and so forth. That's what they're doing every single day, so they get very efficient at it, and they get very good at it.
Well, that's why you guys have made it and lasted so long out there and have the reputation that you do. Now, as far as the installation, I notice a lot more components than just the house wrap. I can see flashing, I see trim. Can we take a closer look and you can touch on the importance of those?
Absolutely, the detail work that goes into it. You know, Stu, you mentioned attention to detail. It actually took us a little over 3 days to get to the stage where we can actually install the siding. All the prep work that goes into the house to make sure that once the siding's installed, we never have to worry about water or air again.
Well, you know, it's not surprising because when you think of good professional construction, no matter what aspect it is, it's always the preparation, the attention to detail in the preparation is what, again, separates a good job from a great job.
Yeah, you know, you got the different tapes that you use on your penetrations. If you look at the window here, we actually have 2 drip caps that we installed. One on the actual window, put the trim on, sealed all that trim to the actual window, put a new drip cap up here, so if water does get behind the siding, it's going to come to the outside. It's never going to get back to the wall.
So really, any of these flashings here, you just want that to rid the home of any water that might, unlikely as it may be, get behind the siding. It's going to get kicked out and away from the house.
Absolutely. And if you've ever done any infrared imaging on houses, you can always see that the corners of the houses are either hot or cold. One of the things that we've done to ensure that no air can ever penetrate the corners of the home, if you look up top here, we actually have what we call our pre-corner posts. We'll actually bend up a piece of metal and put that on the corners, tape that to the house wrap, and then put on the actual corner post over the top of that, really ensuring that no water or air is ever going to, again, penetrate this house, and it's never going to be able to leave the house from this area as well.
Is that very common in the building industry?
You know, I've never seen another contractor use one of these pre-corners, but it really doesn't cost us that much extra money to do it. It really doesn't cost us any time, and if it's an extra step we can take to make sure that this is going to be a well-insulated house, hey, why not?
Seems to me you're not only concerned with the end result, but any callbacks. You're trying to avoid any callbacks. You just want a happy customer.
Yeah, you know, if it takes us a little bit longer initially to get the job done, one, the homeowner's going to save money and time. We're going to save money and time because we're never going to have to come back out here with any type of problems.
And you know, this is an example of just some of the flashings that are in a house. I know that's around hose bibs, different penetrations, and probably the most important that is oftentimes overlooked, those kick-out flashings we've talked about in the past.
Yeah, you know, where you have a roof that meets an actual wall. If you don't do something with that water, it's going to find a way inside the house. The kick-out flashing does an excellent job of that. It actually rediverts the water away from the home. You're never going to have to worry about that rot. You and I have been on jobs before where it's $4,000 or $5,000 worth of rotten wood and damage on the actual house and the structure of the home that has to be taken care of before we can install the siding, all because a $9 part wasn't installed properly.
Boy, so in summary, flashing, house wrap, all the things we are talking about, not to mention attention to detail, these are things that the consumer should be concerned with and be talking to their salesperson about to make sure everything's being taken care of properly.
Yeah, you know, if a siding job is going to take 10 days, 5 of those days are going to be doing that type of thing, doing the flashings, the house wrap, the attention to detail. The other 5 is making it look nice with the beautiful new siding.
Earlier, Andy, we mentioned that these homeowners selected LP SmartSide, and it really wasn't too many years ago. This is a new product you and I were talking about. To me, it seems like it's become very mainstream.
Yeah, you know, maybe 3 years ago, about 10% of the siding jobs that we installed were the LP Smart siding. Now it's well over half of the jobs that we do. One, it comes in a lot of varieties and colors. This right here is the 5-inch LP reveal with the biscuit color diamond coat finish. Really does make a home like this look perfect.
And one thing I always tell people when they ask me, and when you and I have talked about it, is that factory finish, the diamond coat. Wausau Supply does a great job with it. Lifetime warranty on it and numerous colors to choose from.
You know, there's a lot of pre-finishes out there. When I looked at them all, I'm more comfortable with Wausau Supply and the diamond coat, not only in their warranty, but the process that they go through, and from a workability when you're working with the siding. If you look at this, all the siding has been installed already. You're not seeing any chips or cracks or anything in this finish. So when we're done, it's going to look exactly like the homeowner wants it to.
And you mentioned there's a 5-inch reveal here. That's a little different, but I sure like it.
For this style of home, it really does look like that old school cedar siding that you see on a lot of these homes.
And with the LP SmartSide, you use the term cedar. I think a lot of people like it because of the wood grain look.
Yeah, you know, I think LP does a better job of that than any siding manufacturer. You want a maintenance-free siding that looks like wood, this is the way to go.
And looking here, it almost has a seamless appearance to it.
Yeah, with this type of wall, with how many windows that are in there, there really are going to be very little seams on this house. And if you look real closely here, you're not going to see any fasteners either, Stu. It's all hidden fasteners, gives it a nice clean look, and it's going to make sure that water and air can no longer penetrate the wall.
And not only on the siding, but on the corner posts, and that leads us into the installation question. Is it pretty easy for the installers to install this product?
You know, out of all the things on the job, the installation of the siding, the last thing that we do, it is relatively easy. Now, we have thousands of hours of experience, and Luke and Eric have done this countless times. They're going to measure it all properly to fit each piece individually. So it's not just like measure once and start cutting. After every piece is installed, you can adjust the siding, so any imperfections on the home itself, whether it's settled one way or the other, or a wall may be wavy, the way we can adjust the siding, it's going to look like a perfect wall when we're done.
Well, it's a testament to their experience, their professionalism. They make it look easy. To the layperson, it's not that easy, and that's, again, something that you should be asking your salesperson. How many hours of experience do they have? How many jobs? Can I see some of them? Because at the end of the day, as you said earlier, you can have the best product in the world, but if it's not installed properly, you're not going to get the best value that you're looking for.
Exactly. Really, installation technique and how it goes on the wall is more important than the product itself.
Stick around. We'll check out a steel siding project and learn more about aluminum soffit venting next, when we continue with today's Home Remodeler.